What is up YouTube, it's Markshot here, and welcome to a brand new video. And today's video we're going to be talking about the Black Ops Pass. I know I'm late covering this issue, but I wanted to make a video discussing just how bad the decision was to implement another paid DLC pass for this year's Call of Duty. It's just too illogical to me that Activision would put a pass in Black Ops 4 in the current gaming climate. I honestly do not know why they thought this was a good idea at all and decided to go public with it, because the competition this year is just too tough. The competition are looking for any advantages over Call of Duty, and Activision just gave them one on a silver platter. As it is for many players, this year's Call of Duty was already questionable, and then you throw this on top of it? Are you trying to kill off Call of Duty? Especially considering the #1 game right now is free with no paid DLC. That of course being Fortnite. The one thing Black Ops 4 had to get right was the DLC business model. For those of you who do not know what the Black Ops Pass is, it's essentially the season pass where you get all the map packs but with less content this time around, split up evenly over months. Now I know to some of you may be thinking, what's so bad about that? Call of Duty's had season passes before. Yes, and that's correct. We've had season passes before, but this is a new market. Games nowadays are releasing with free DLC in exchange for more paid microtransactions. Plus, to add insult to injury, you can't even choose to select certain map packs anymore, meaning if you want any of the DLC, you gotta get all of it. Let's take a look at this year's competition that will be fighting for players' money and how they deal with DLC. Fortnite, free DLC. Battlefield 5, free DLC. Rainbow Six Siege, free DLC. Overwatch, free DLC. And if you still want to count GTA 5, of course, free DLC. Alright, so I made my point, but there's a reason why so many developers and studios have decided against the paid DLC model, and that's because it splits up the player base of a game too much, thus making it less enjoyable when you have to search and search for a game lobby. Not to mention, it makes it harder to play with friends who don't have the DLC. You'd think this would be clear to Activision, considering Battlefield, the closest related game, was announced to have no paid DLC for the first time ever. But I guess Activision think that they can weather the storm and continue to make a profit as they have for many years. I see this being the nail in the coffin for Black Ops 4 and potentially Call of Duty as a whole, if they do not fix this. If Activision wants to remain competitive for years to come, it's not a matter of if they will change, but when they will change. Hopefully by then it won't be too late. Players are leaving in flocks to go play other games that are more wallet friendly, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. I care way too much about this franchise to see it go out like this. I want what's best for Call of Duty, and I always want to see it succeed, and I feel bad for Black Ops 4 for being caught in the middle between Activision and their stubbornness with paid DLC. It looks like Black Ops 4 will have to be sacrificed before Activision learn their lesson. The crazy part about all this is, though, is that games that have gone towards the free DLC model have made more money than they did with paid DLC. If you want to take a look at what it costs to play Call of Duty with DLC for any given year, you see a $60 base game, plus the $40 to $50 extra season pass that doesn't include all the microtransactions that you'll probably pay for because you want certain things like weapon DLC, character skins, emotes, and such. The best part about the loot in Call of Duty is that they're all locked behind supply drops, which force you to gamble in hopes that you get what you want. So there's no way to actually quantify how much it will cost you if you want everything Call of Duty has to offer for any given year. Think of it this way. It's basically a game of chance, like a slot machine if you will. So theoretically speaking, you could spend thousands and still get nothing or not all the content that you want. That is definitely not competitive in today's gaming market, considering most games are not only going for the free DLC as we mentioned, but some have even outright purchasable loot, no supply drops or gambling required. Before I finish, I want to elaborate where I talked about less content with the Black Ops Pass. That's the other side of the problem that I have with this pass, is not only are we getting stuff that we should be getting for free, but we're also getting less. Normally we get about 16 DLC maps, but this year we'll get 12. I honestly can't believe they thought this would fly with consumers. I really wish they would have thought, of one thing to actually incorporate into this pass that would make it worth our while. Instead, it's nothing but just one desperate attempt to get as much cash from players as possible. Activision has been very quiet regarding the season pass and paid DLC over the past couple months, since the announcement. It's almost as if they expect the whole issue to just blow over and for people to calm down and eventually pay for the game and its DLC. I will admit to some extent that their strategy is working, because people have seemed to forget about the calls of protesting against no Black Ops 4 paid DLC or no Black Ops 4 protests have quickly subsided, and now it's just complaints or compliments about the game itself from the beta. I hope that the sales of the DLC pass reflect the attitude of most of the community, that we are sick of getting nickel and dimed to play a franchise that we love when other games are out there treating their players so much better. I'm all in for Activision making big profits because I'm aware this is a business and this is how they keep score. However, there's a much better way of going about that, proved by others. The sooner Call of Duty gets to a free DLC business model, the quicker it can go ahead and make steps in the right direction to eventually become competitive again in the market. Do I think Activision will reverse their decision with paid DLC in Black Ops 4? No. But that doesn't change the fact that we're all witnessing a prime example of adapt to survive, and Call of Duty is no exception. Alright guys, that's my take on this whole Black Ops Pass thing. So let me know what you think about this situation. Will you be getting the pass, or will you be standing firm against these bad business practices? Let me all know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.